Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Late Night with TrevisMchelle. I hope you enjoyed the music this time. I'm learning on StreamYard. While we're waiting, you can play some music. So I was excited to do a little bit of daydreaming. I thought that would be the appropriate music considering who our guest is tonight. Well, I am your TV host, TrevisMchelle. Welcome to Late Night with TrevisMchelle Show. We're here every Wednesday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, talking about the ugly side of the backstory. What is the ugly side? Those things that we don't have, we can't control in life. Those situations, those journeys, those experiences, those events on our way to greatness. So what my guests speak about is not just their successes, but what did they do and what it took for them to get there? Because I think that bears a lot more weight than just knowing that someone is successful. Because when you're going through your journey, you need to know that, okay, so it's not going to always be easy. Other people have made mistakes. Other people have fallen forward. That's okay as long as I get back up. Because it's not really about your journey. It's how you get through that journey. Really. Because see, I always like to say at the time of adversity is when your true character shows up. So that's what one of the things we talk about. As you know, I'm always going to speak on women. You please go to the doctor and have your exams, from your mammograms to your pap smears. It's so important. You know that I am a cervical cancer survivor. I'm going through my journey now, the chemo, the radiation, and then I have to have other checkups, and there's a lot of other little things that y'all don't want to know about. But anywho, it's so important that we share this, especially in the melanated community, the Black women, my Latina women, the Asian women, Indian. We need to talk about it because I have cervical cancer and it's curable. If we go to the doctor, because I know we're taking care of everybody. I know we is. I know you taking care of Tom, Joan, baby them, auntie and them, mom and them, all of them, right? And we're not taking time for ourselves. And we're holding down a job, and we're holding down the house. But we must take care of ourselves so that we can pour into other people. I have gone and shaved my head, as you guys I have shown you in the past, but I think this is my new color. You know what I mean? I really like it. I need to see something different because I'm never going to be that TrevisMchelle pre-cancer. So I wanted to get a new look because the hair growing is just not happening. Y'all don't need to see. We ain't going to deal with it every now and then, but not really. So I wanted to do something that made me feel even better, right? I feel great about myself, but hey, I'm a Black woman. We like to change it up, switch it up. So yes, all right. Anywho, I also am your expert confidence coach. What does that mean? That means that I help women. Um, oh wow, y'all, chemo brain sometimes it's like my brain and my mouth they don't want to work together. But I help women gain back their confidence one step at a time using my WALK method. And that's W for willing participant, A for action steps, L, love yourself. How do you do that? Forgive yourself, which leads to freedom, which leads to redemption, and K, kicking butt unapologetically. In addition to that, I am also a speaker, as well as the late night host of Late Night with TrevisMchelle. This coming, let's see, next week, the 19th on Saturday, I will be one of the headline speakers at the Hurricane that's in Alabama, Montgomery. And my doctors felt that, you know what, I need to have a change. I need to see something different and to keep my spirits up. So I have been cleared at least for that. And then I got to come back and sit myself down. But I'm so excited to be able to be around other positive women. And a lot of these women have encouraged me and supported me, even though I don't know them personally. I'm part of the Herpreneur Network, which has been founded by the one and only visionary Dr. Nikki Ziegler. And tonight we are going to have one of the herbassadors and the VP of Herpreneur Network on. And I'm so excited about that. I am a regional director for New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, and for the city of Philadelphia in the state of Pennsylvania. So without further ado, we're going to see where our guest is. Let's see, can we find her? Jerica, where are you? Oh, there you are, Queen.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am great. Let me tell you. Hi, Dr. Miata. Our president is in the audience. Dr. Miata Hampton. We're so excited to see you.
Hi, Dr. Miata.
So let me introduce our queen that's here with us, and happy International Women's Month. Jerica Watson is the proud owner of Magic Sense. Ooh, of course, it went away as soon as I touched something. Oh, Lord. And it's of Magic Sense, which is now in Walmart, guys. So you can go to Walmart and get it. Jerica, I am going to ask if you'll put in the messages so that I can put on the outside so people can see it. And I also like it to be in our stream so that people can go in and constantly, because we're on YouTube and we're on our Facebook. So we are going out all over, and this is forever. She and her daughter, her daughter they make candles by hand. They have diffusers. I'm just like, what? It's so empowering to see a woman that looks like me that's taking time with her daughter to show her entrepreneurship, how she can build wealth, independence, and legacy. And she's doing it beside her. So her daughter doesn't have to worry about her confidence because she knows that she can do things. Because you know what? How old is your daughter?
She's 13 now.
13. Okay. A teenager.
Yeah, she was 10
so
when we started.
Can you turn your volume up a little bit?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. That's okay. It went down a little bit.
Better?
So yes, this is Jerica Watson, who is the president and founder of Magic Sense Joe Scents. So you saw what our topic is tonight, aromatherapy for the soul. How are you doing, Queen?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to be here tonight. Actually, I love, talking about my story, letting people know the triumphs and stuff like that. But, like you said, to know the ugly side, how I got here, stuff like that, like really digging deep. That for me is, it's a good, thing to do, to always go and be able to look back. And so I was really excited about this opportunity to go and look back and share with you. So I was excited. I was really excited. I like the glory and everything, but the full story is really where it's at.
Good. Now, let me tell y'all something. Jerica and I, look. I love me some Jerica. All right, that's my boo. I'm just saying, nobody else get jealous or anything. But she's always so supportive and consistent on the Herpreneur Network. And I'm just going to get this out of the way right quick. On Clubhouse, every single day, Monday through Friday, Jerica comes on, and she has a room, Herpreneur Network, and it's business women check in, and anyone who comes to the stage, they can share who they are, where they live, and how we can support them. I didn't see. I did not say how we can sell something. I said how we can support each other, because that's what Herpreneur Network is about. Us Christian business women adjusting each other's crowns. When I talk about consistency, she is juggling so many balls in the air, and I want us to go into like, how do you do that? And then we'll go backtrack a little bit. But how do you keep everything in alignment? Because you're a mom, you raise you breed puppies, then you're vice president of Herpreneur Network. You right up there, so that means you have a lot going on with that. You're doing shows, you're making candles, you have a teenager. God bless you. Uh,
Prayers, guys, prayers.
so how do you keep it all together? What do you do to manage that?
Well, honestly, just it's a routine at this point. Anytime I want to do something or anytime there's something that needs to be added to the schedule, whatever like that, it's exactly what it is. It needs to be added to the schedule, and so what I do is it's just a routine for me. Um, I have amazing daughters, and they're so much a part of my life that whatever twists and turns that come about, they're just like, what are we doing? It's never like I need this or I need that. It's just like, what are we doing? And so, with managing everything, keeping the schedule has to be tight. And that's it. I have to keep a tight schedule. So I keep a tight schedule. I keep the main thing, which is making sure that we're taken care of, and everything else really adds value to our life. Though it may seem like it's a task or a role or whatever, that being a ambassador, being on the Herpreneur Network, being in Clubhouse every morning with the ladies. Um, I don't breed dogs. Let's correct that. We had an accident at my house. We had an accident in my house, and we ended up having five amazing puppies, and their mother has been rehomed, and we have two left, two of the babies left, but they're gonna stay. They're fully trained and just awesome dogs. So I have three dogs now. That's just my new life and part of our journey. And like I said, everything that we do, it adds value. Keeping the puppies, we've been able to keep both of my daughters' responsibility, and making sure that, they can take care of something besides themselves without, it being something, extra. So that's just another part of the journey. So, that's what my routines are, and that's how I function. I just function by adding it to my life.
Wow. And that's great to hear, because you make it look so easy. And I know it's not. Because, like you said, an accident happened. Y'all weren't paying
Accident, yes.
attention.
Woo.
Somebody was not paying attention. But now, what made you choose, starting to hand make candles? How did you develop? How did you come to that idea? Because it's not something that, most people know how to do, even though we know you have classes, but just like you have to have a passion for it, and really, because it takes work, it takes time. It's not like you just put something together and it's done.
And so full circle, as a kid, my mom used to take us to Underground in Atlanta. I grew up in Atlanta. Mom used to take us to Underground, and there was a store, and they had candles where they dipped them, where they dip the candle, and then they make it different colors, and then they shave it down and design it. I was always there. That's where I was. All my sister and them, they was looking at candy and the little extra stuff. I was always at this window watching whatever lady was there making this candy. So track forward 2018, um, Journey was just born. I was depressed. I had prepartum depression. I didn't want a kid, another kid. I didn't want another kid. I was knew I was going to be another single mother. You know, separated from their dad because of physical, mental, emotional abuse. and I was just not in the state. I was just not myself. I wasn't happy. The really only motivation I had, to be honest, was Jaden. Well, Jaden set off my emotion and took the depression part. And she was feeling all these emotions and stuff, and I couldn't physically be there for her. Her teacher at school stepped in. Hey, I think something's going on with Jaden. I'm like, because I'm that mom. I'm always involved in her schooling and stuff. So I'm like, okay, well, let's see what's going on. Let's try her in counseling. Try her in counseling. Let her just talk and open up. And some things came out that wasn't what a 10-year-old should be feeling or thinking. For me, at that point, it's my job. So screw what I'm feeling. Let's get back to Jaden. Let's figure out
Right.
how we can build her back up. Okay, so Jaden and me are both crafty from the jump. We just like craft. Her room is full of paint and everything now. We love craft, both of us do. It's nothing for me to have a glue stick and a glue gun, in the kitchen table. Like it's just what I do, what I like. She does too. So slime was a thing. We
Mm.
both like making money too. That's another thing. Both like making money. Slime was a thing. She like, Mom, let's make slime. I'm asking her, like, what do you want to do? What can we do to, she's like, Mom, let's try slime. There's a whole bunch of different kinds, and my friends don't know how to make it. So if we package it up, I can sell it for a quarter, you know, and everything. So we're doing it, but I hate it. It was so messy. My mom's always taught us to be so extra clean. I craft, but I clean. And so it was just too messy. It was too much of a mess, and I wasn't really feeling it, and she could tell. So we went to the drawing board to try to find something on YouTube and the internet that was the same concept. It was solid, it was liquid, it turned into a solid. Candles came about. Went to Hobby Lobby, and they had all the materials right there. I'm like,
Wow.
Jay, let's get on this. Let's try it. And it's funny because the slime aisle was one aisle over. And I was like, let's skip this aisle and let's go to this aisle. And so we started making candles because we're both dealing with depression. I started looking into aromatherapy fragrances and how they can help to like motivate you, like build you up, like give you those feelings of happiness and calm and relaxation, stuff like that that
Mhm.
I felt we needed going through the mental states that we both were in. And so we started making those fragrances. So that's how we got into candles. I found my passion again though, because God had reminded me in a dream about the dip and how the calm, I would just sit there and that was my happy place. And I was like, wow. So to be honest, that's probably, I would love to be able to be that kind of candle maker as well. Right now, we do focus on just the glass and the regular container candles because that's something easy and safe for her
Right.
and I to do. So,
I appreciate your transparency because that right there is a true challenge because you're having depression and then you see that your child has depression and you didn't ignore it because a lot of people don't know what to do with that. They're just like ignoring it, brushing it off. The commercials that they have and someone they'll say they're depressed. It was about depression on the commercial. And they would say, oh, well, you have so much to live for. Oh, you should just smile for. And then the person who's depressed, underneath it says, this is not helpful. So the fact that you
right.
found something positive to channel that depression, of course, the foundation being God, and you did it together, and that's priceless. So you were able to take those negative thoughts or those negative feelings and make something beautiful out of it. And you're not doing it by yourself. And so your
Right.
daughter will have this to hold on to for the rest of her life, right? She definitely has the way of making money. She has
Oh,
a
yeah.
way of
Yes.
making other people happy and helping them
Yes.
as well as helping herself. So this is such a positive, and I really thank you for that because there are going to be people, whether you're on the replay or you're live, that are going to be like, wow, but really all of this from candles? That's why I titled it Aromatherapy for a Therapy for the Soul. when we smell something, you know how it gives you a memory? I
Mhm.
just, you can have a certain scent and it's like, oh man, you can remember what you were doing if you were a kid or where you were, and it just feels good. For myself, I love smelling wood burning,
Mhm.
and it reminds me of the good days when I was in the South, right? And it's just very
Yeah.
comforting. And being in New York, I could be out in Long Island or wherever I am, and you smell that, and I'm like, it just brings back happy thoughts. So, can you tell us about the aromatherapy, how it affects our body, our senses?
Yes. So, one aromatherapy scent, that people are very familiar with is lavender. Lavender, okay. Lavender is it's really good for calming. It's really good for relaxation. And so lavender is one of those scents that we also use. Lemongrass, we use lemongrass in two of our fragrance oils. That's really good for focus and mind stimulation. A lot of people get warm feelings from lemongrass as well. It just, like you say, it just depends on your experience. And then I'm trying to think of the other ones we use. We use vanilla. Vanilla is a very popular scent for a lot of people. It reminds them of home. It reminds them of being safe. Then we have our citrus scents, our citrus-based scents. Those are really good for like awakening and vibrancy. It motivates that from you within. And so we have those, and then like we have like the lemon. We do have some clean cottons and things like that are just for the home to to make you have those good feelings. And so those are the just some of the scents that we have. We have over 26. And we added three last week. So
Wow.
so we have a lot of scents that we utilize. And to be honest, we go to a lot of shows and we meet people and we talk to people. And so the scents that people ask us for, the sense that people feel, give them a good feeling, a good vibe. I had this one older lady that was similar to your story with the smell of wood burning. Hers was a Caribbean teak wood scent, and
Wow.
she just loved it. It reminded her of her husband. Her husband had passed, and so I went and found it. And she met me 3 shows later, and she was so excited. She bought
Oh
all
my
the ones
God.
that I made, but she was so excited, that we got her that scent. So it's not just about aromatherapy, for like those things that people think on the surface, but also, like you said, for your soul, something a little bit deeper, something that's going to give you those good vibes that you need to push and propel you forward. So yeah, so we love to do scents, for people special, and then we also, like I said, have the ones that really focus and aim on those attributes that people need just as a generic thing for their life.
Wow, thank you. I want to acknowledge Angelique, who is coming to the room, Tiara, Kay, and Antoinette, her ambassadors in the
Hey
building. Uh,
guys.
my crew from Tilted Crown Squad is in the building. I'm so happy you all are here. Please make sure that you share this out with other people, because whether they listen to it on the live or they hit the replay, this is really it's good information. And you know about the late night with Travis Michelle. We don't do it like anybody else.
Right?
So oh, see, that's right. Let's take our sip.
Uh-huh.
That's
Mhm.
right.
Listen,
Our beverage of choice.
I got me some apple cider tea, and it's so good.
Wow. And I have me some nice ice water for my nausea,
Yeah.
and it's so good in my mind. But
It looks good. It looks refreshing.
Michelle Anderson, hi, Michelle. She also says, can't wait for Saturday's candle class. So since she went ahead and got ahead of me, look, can you tell us about
Yes.
Saturday's class? Go ahead and announce that.
Yes. Her amazing daughter and herself, and I think a couple of other individuals, or another individual is going to be in our candle class this weekend. Our candle classes. So they're not traditional because we're not traditional. So I did the first candle class and I was like, there's so much more. So each and every candle class was a different technique. This will be our last candle class until the summer, but each and every candle class was a different technique. Our students learned how to make a basic candle. They learned how to make a colored candle. They also learned the technique of melting the wax from the microwave. If you just have a microwave and you want to make a candle, or if you want to use the stove. In this particular class, they are going to be learning how to make a birthday cake candle. And the birthday cake candle has the birthday cake confetti on the outside. It has the candle centered in the middle, and they chose their scent. So their candles will be scented the way that to the ones that they chose. But just because like if you have a birthday coming up or whatever, the birthday cake candle is a fun candle and it teaches you the technique of adding molds to your jar and getting them to adhere. So when you see those pretty candles with like the rose petals on the outside or some kind of thing on the outside, it's
Right.
the same technique. It's just we're going to be using the confetti opposed to the other thing. So I was excited to do the candle class just because I could make it how I wanted to. I could teach whatever technique I wanted to teach. And I just wanted to make sure it was always a fun class and people were always learning. A lot of the students that I've taught in the past have actually wanted to start their own candle company. So I also, of course, have my book out. So I'll always, let them know about the book as well because the book has so many resources and areas where they could write out their, journeys and their different kind of combinations that they use to try. Because there's so many different waxes out there, so many different types of fragrance oils and stuff. So
Wow, thanks. I see we have Angela House, Jay Denise, and Janevelin in. Thank you so much, Queens. Please share out. Thank you for being in here today, getting this information. Now, you said you have a book, so go ahead and share. How do we find that?
yes.
How do we get the book?
Oh my goodness. So Dr. Nikki challenged us to write a book. And me being, optimistic was like, I could do it. Took me about 4 months, but to be honest, when I started writing, it just poured out because it was what I do almost every day. Some days I do wax nails, but the majority of the time I'm making candles. And so the book, I wrote it and I formatted it and everything. It's on my website, which is in the comments somewhere in here. I saw it pop up a couple times. But Magic Sense by J. Doe. You can purchase the book. You have digital and printed copies, so you can choose which one you want. And I think it's phenomenal. I'm really excited about the book. I know I'm gonna write another one. Gearing towards like how to do wax nails, diffuser oils, because everything that we have is skin safe.
Right.
Nothing, no products are chemicals or anything like that. Everything is all organic, all natural, safe for everybody. That was really important to me. And so we formulated even down to our room sprays to where, they're skin safe. So they can be a room spray or they can be a pillow spray. If you get the lavender, you can put it on your pillow and help you go to sleep, without breaking out or having any rashes when you wake up. So that's important, for us. When we first started, Journey was only 4 months old. So I couldn't have all that stuff around the house. We had to have everything organic. And I was glad I went that
Right.
way.
Okay. Great. Hi, Barbara. Thank you so much for coming in. The lovely,
Hey,
the one and only Dr. Nikki
me
Ziegler is
too.
here. We're in the house tonight. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
So now you said you wanted to get a little deep. So I'm going to
let's go
ask you a
deep.
question. I don't script anything. I just say how I feel and feel what I say. And that's why I'm late night so that we can really talk about things. But before I do that, I would like to almost say reset the room like I'm in Clubhouse. Hi,
Clubhouse,
Lorel.
right?
How
We
are
be
you?
forgetting
But
we in
I do want
Clubhouse
to do,
then.
right, a quick commercial because it's 7:30
Yeah.
Pacific Standing Time, which is 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. But I am TrevisMchelle, host of Late Night with TrevisMchelle Show. We're here every Wednesday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, talking about the ugly side of the backstory. Yes, you're successful, but my guests also talk about the challenges and their journey, and they share with us what they do. But we need to be encouraged along the way because it's not an easy, road. It's we have challenges, we have ups and downs, but as long as Dr. Miata says, you fall forward and continue on your journey, that's okay, right? Everything is not smooth, but I'm saying you are the light. Stop looking for the light at the end of the tunnel. Um, in addition to that, I am going to be one of the headline speakers at the Her Cave March 19th. Um, Jerica, you can put that in the private chat. We'll put that up so that people can register. If you can't make it in person, that's all right. You can go ahead and follow us on Zoom. But if you're in person, I'm telling you, it's gonna be like what, as they say, what y'all guys from Atlanta off the chain, as we say in New York, off the hook. I just don't want y'all to feel any kind of way. But we're gonna have such a good time learning, growing, um, getting together with each other and sharing. And then you know what? You know what's at the base of it? God. Is centered around God. So we can love on each other and learn and grow at the same time. So I'm excited for that. We also, Jerica and I, as well as several, 98 other women, are featured in the Herpreneur Network magazine. Yes, yes,
That is
yes.
so awesome.
Okay, I'm
Yes.
just saying. I'm just saying. So that's exciting things coming up. I do have, and I'm announcing it here, so y'all know it's legit. The Boss Up Confidence Academy. There will be. I'm going to actually have a wait list starting on the 19th while I am in um, Montgomery, Alabama, so that you can be there for the Boss Up with Confidence. I have my journal, and if you don't, now you do. It's on Amazon, Boss Up with Confidence, and that's where it's a 30-day journal, and I teach you how to gain back your confidence one step at a time, and that's why it's called WALK, walk. W, willing participant. A, action steps. L, love yourself. How do you do that with the loving yourself part? Because it's easy to say love yourself, but you need to be very tangible, right? You need to be able to see and understand it. That means you, one, forgive yourself. Two, that leads you to freedom, because when you forgive yourself, it's like, I don't care what you did. Look, I can't change that, but I forgive me so I can move forward. And then that will lead you into redemption. That is my methodology that I've come up with. I'm also your expert confidence coach, and that's where I use the methodology. That's why I have the academy coming out, because it doesn't mean that you don't have confidence. People think, oh, well, I already have confidence. No, we all go through periods in our life where we're like, I'm not sure, should I do this? And we're wavering. But why not have more confidence? Why not go and put the work in? That walk, WALK method, I use it all the time. It's not for one instance. I've used it with my divorce. I've used it when I went through traumas. I just didn't know it was called the WALK, but that's how I came up with it. Someone helped me to uh, tease through what the process was. And going through my cervical cancer journey as I am, I had to be a willing participant. I could have balled up and said, forget this, I'm out of here. And I said, no, I'm staying, I'm fighting, I'm a survivor. Let's go. God, you got me. Let's go. Show up, show out. Whatever you say it's going to be. And he said it's curable. And then, A, I had to take action steps. I'm in therapy. I have to I'm trying to eat right. I don't eat that much, but I have to get out and walk now. I had to go through chemotherapy, radiation, and then high dose radiation.
Mm.
I have to take the steps. I have to rest. I have to sleep. I have a lot of things that I have to do. Go back for a few, treatments like I did on Monday. I have to take action steps. Then that L, love myself. I had to forgive myself for not going to the doctor when I thought I should have, or as often as I should have, which freed me up once I forgave myself, so that I can be here smiling, even though I'm going through and then kick butt unapologetically. So y'all can't say nothing to me because yeah, what? I'm here looking cute, getting it
Yeah.
together, having my show, doing my journal, speaking, encouraging, and motivating. So I thank you all for that. That's the end of our commercial. I'm going to go back to our regularly scheduled time show.
Program.
All right, thank you so much. So I said we're going to dig a little bit. Now, you did mention that you were in a domestic violence relationship.
Hmm.
Were you also working at that time? Just because that's you're an entrepreneur, you're a
Well,
business. Were you thinking about going into entrepreneurship? How did you manage that? Because to have the children, you said that you weren't ready to be pregnant again, which you're being very honest and transparent with us. And then to go through the depression, I mean, how do you, and then I know you had to move out or he move out, whatever, separate.
mhm.
How did you get through that? What held that together, the glue for you?
Well, honestly, so I worked all my life. So I was everything. I've done everything. But at that point in my life, I was actually with Primerica. I had worked great things and got to the point where I had pretty much my money working for me. So I had a check every month where I didn't work, insurance. If y'all don't know, Primerica is insurance, but it's good, steady, money if you build your team right. So I was doing that. I did have a job. I had a job at a Chinese restaurant. I was delivering at the time. And then we had started a company. So I had income from there, but it was a controlled environment. My name was on everything. So at the end of the day, I decided to leave the place that we were staying in together. I left it. I did all the stuff I was supposed to do, as far as with the lease and everything like that. And I took a period where I didn't know what I wanted to do, to be honest. I
Okay.
didn't know if I wanted to move back to Georgia. I had moved to Tennessee. I was by myself here. I was by myself. Listen, guys, if you want to know how tough you are, go somewhere where you ain't got no family, no friends, nobody, and see who you really are. And that's what I was in. I was here in Tennessee. I had nobody here. It was just me by myself. My grandmother and my dad, they and my family stayed about an hour and a half away. My mom stayed 5 hours away. So I had a choice. I was pregnant. I was 4 months pregnant when I was done. It was a really bad incident that happened, and I was done. I was like, this isn't worth it. I'm gonna get fatter, and I'm not gonna be able to defend myself. That's really what I said. And I'm laughing, but that was what I said. I'm gonna get fat, and I ain't gonna be able to defend myself. So I can't stay here. I can't stay with this. And so I finally called the police. Got the restraining order, and had the opportunity to stay here or, move back home with my mom. My mom has a split level house, and she totally did redid the bottom for me. Where she was like, because I'm independent, and I wouldn't go
Right.
move back with her. But if it was a place where it was mine, I would, potentially stay. So she redid the whole bottom to make it like it was all my house at the bottom. I never had to come upstairs if I didn't want to. And I stayed there for, I think I was there for like 2 months. Yeah, 2 months. And I was like, Jaden, it was me, Jaden, and Jake. That's another thing, guys. My dog, my dog has a really sentimental part of me because he was he was tough with, like, he was always there. He always was just comforting at all times. It was like he knew we were in this together. And so it was us three, and I told Jaden, I said, Jaden, I really feel like if we stay here, that it's gonna just it's not gonna grow me. I'm not gonna get
Right.
better. Mom gives me everything. I love my mom. She literally, she still to this day will give me everything. And I was like, I have to grow as a mom, I have to grow as a person. I can't,
Mm-hmm.
let this defeat me. And so, long story short, I prayed, and the kicker was I listened to God's answer. This is the kicker because I prayed and I said, God, if I'm supposed to be here, make a way. If I'm not supposed to be here, make a way. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I'm tired, I'm mad, and I'm sad. And I just need you to fix this. I know I messed up. I did it. I did it. Because I did. I did this to myself. This relationship was 12 years of my life, off and on, but I knew how each incident would end. And I still subjected myself. So I had to tell God, I did this. I know I did this, but I need your help. So a guy called. He said, I'm leaving. Me and my girlfriend are moving in together. We're getting married. And I don't want to keep my apartment. And I need somebody to take over my apartment. And out of all the people that replied, I think you would be a good fit. So I'm thinking, like, this dude ain't real. So then he says, listen, call the leasing office, put your name on the lease. I will give you this apartment. You don't have to pay me anything. I'll pay your first month's rent. You don't have to do anything. Just move in and take over the rest. If you want to move out in March, you can move out in March. Lease is up in March. I'm like, okay. So I didn't meet him until the day he gave me the keys. But up until that point, everything he said he was going to do, he did. And I absolutely am grateful to this man. I promise you. And he's on my Facebook, so he may be watching. But he's amazing. He don't know what he did for me in my life. And so I get here to Clarksville. We drove. We had everything in our car. We drove up. My dad gave me his car. My mom made my dad give me his car because she didn't like my car. She didn't think it was reliable. And my mom made my dad give me his car. He gave me his car, literally. And I drove in his car. We came up here. I met him at 11 o'clock at night. He gave me the keys to this apartment. That's the first time I've ever even seen it. It was a two-bedroom townhouse. Got in there. First night, me and Jay slept on the floor. I'm like, God, I'm here now. What am I supposed to do? So in a matter of a day, the next day, I went back to my job that I was working at the Chinese place, and the lady said, "Where you been? You can come back." Got back
Wow.
here, got my job back with her, put Jaden in school, and I just worked. And every day something came, and I mean, within a month, our whole house was fully furnished. Um, Journey, I got everything I needed for Journey. It was crazy because Jade and I had planned her, and I wanted Jade, and I planned everything, so I had all kind of stuff for Jade. And Journey was born in October. I think we started shopping for her in September because we just moved back in August. I didn't do anything. And when I tell you she had more than enough when she was born, I didn't even go shopping for like a few months.
Wow.
Um, God really made a way. He really answered because every single thing that didn't seem right or wasn't possible, He made possible. And no problem. Up until even having Journey, my mom had went back to work, and I was going to be having Journey by myself. My grandma couldn't get down here, and I was gonna have her by myself. And my mom ended up showing up at what time she get here? I was due at the hospital at 6:30, and my mom got here at 5:40 from Georgia for me to deliver my daughter, to be there for me to deliver my daughter. So that's our what we were doing. That's how everything went.
Wow. I want to read some of these comments. Wendy says, hey. Latia says, he made a way. Janelle Williams says, yield to God. Latia again says, wow, look at God. And thank you also for Wendy and Latia coming in, joining us. But,
Thank you.
You said something very important, and that was you prayed, but more
Hmm.
important, you listen. And we pray, all right, all right, yeah, we be on our knees and everything else praying, right? But then we're not listening. We're
Hmm.
not actively listening, and it didn't show up the way you may have wanted it to, or thought that it was supposed to, because you had this young man say, "Oh, okay." When God says it, it doesn't make sense. It
Mm-mm.
looks crazy sometimes,
Hmm.
but if you follow him, you see how, and it was smooth. God doesn't have us going through hoops. We have us going through hoops, right?
Yes,
We
yes,
listen
that's
and
right.
obey. Now, I'm not talking about when we don't obey. That's on us. But when we listen and obey, you don't have to go through hoops. It's not difficult.
Mm-mm.
He makes a way. You come back after those 2 months and she says, "Oh, okay, so when are you starting? You have your job back."
Right.
What? Who does that? You didn't just get an apartment, you had a townhouse.
Yeah, I had a townhouse and a whole month free. Like he paid a whole month. I didn't have to pay again until September. So I stayed in the
Wow.
apartment the whole, like the townhouse rather. Yeah, it was a townhouse. It was a two-bedroom, upstairs, downstairs townhouse, two bathrooms, two closets in the master bedroom. I mean, it was a nice townhouse, and yeah, and he paid, and I didn't have to pay the deposit. I didn't have to do anything. He covered everything. He's like, just pay the rest, and the lease is up in March. If you want to renew, you can. If you don't, that's fine. But yeah,
That's right. Favor on top of favor. Pray and listening is so
yes,
important. Laurel said that. Kay says obedience is key. Kay says favor on top of favor. Absolutely. And but we have to be there, right?
yeah,
We have to
yeah,
listen, we have to stay present, and we have to go in with expectations. We say expectation S, that's what other folks say. I don't. I add an S onto mine. I have expectations. We have to be very clear with and specific with God. He already knows our heart. But just because he knows our heart, if you're not asking, doesn't mean he's supposed to he's going to throw everything at you. No, we say,
right.
God, help me pay this bill. He helps you to pay that bill. You didn't ask him, God, help me to pay this bill, get out of debt, move into a new place, renovate my house. I need a new car. Not that I need a new car. I need a Porsche Macan. Okay, because that's what I like. All right, I'm just saying. Okay, I'm
Right.
just saying. Blue with pay back interior. I'm just in
Right.
turbo. Be specific. Don't just say you want a car and then you end up with a
Listen,
little
you gotta be
smart car,
specific.
right?
You do, but you know what? That's one thing that I've changed about my prayer life. Is being specific about what I want. Because, like you said, you can ask for a car, and he can give you one. You know, but I
Car.
can't just have a car. I need what I need. Like I need third rows, and I need, a certain year, and a certain. I want a certain color now. Now I want a white car. Never had a white car, and I want a white car. I want a white truck. Is what I want. And so, like you said, you have to be specific in what you want because God gives us what we ask for. When you truly understand the relationship that you have with Him and how much He adores us and loves us and just asks us to simply follow some rules. I mean, we were talking and laughing, me and Ivory's my sister. She's awesome. She's probably listening. I love her. But me and Ivory was talking about our mom and how she raised us and how we had rules. You had to fold your clothes when you put them in the drawer. You had to have the kitchen cleaned up before you went to bed at night. You had to clean the bathroom after you left the bathroom and took a shower. And then the consequences. If your clothes wasn't folded up in the drawer, she took all the drawers out and she threw the clothes in the floor. And you still had to fold the clothes up and put them back in the drawer. If you didn't make your bed up, she took the whole bed off. And it was in the middle of the floor, the sheets and everything. And then you still had to clean it up. So, my mom was laughing because she said, "You make it seem like I did something wrong." I said, "No, that's just discipline." But that's the same thing with God. Like He just asked us to follow the rules, but look at us as adults. We have clean homes. You know, we're not hoarders. You know, we clean up after ourselves. We don't got issues with like bugs and stuff because we had that discipline. You know, we
Right.
don't have to worry about if somebody, you know, has to come and rescue us or come in our house in the middle of the night or whatever, or when we're not at home because our beds are messy, you know?
Yes, that's
And
what my grandma
yeah,
taught me. Don't say, "Oh, you will not come to my house." I'm like, "Oh, excuse me, um, for my mess." Now, while I'm healing now, let me tell you, I had no strength. I couldn't do anything. But my wonderful son, Khalik, who took
hmm
care of me for 6 weeks, he paid for a housekeeper because he knows how particular I am. I like things, even though I have a 5 pound dog, Steeler, I still like things clean. I just wasn't able to
hmm
do it. So
right.
I did the same thing. Latia says she did the same thing. I used to take everything out of their drawers and dump
Yeah,
them on
her
the
with her
floor.
kids, see?
Okay, now you got to start over. Yeah, because you talk to my children, they're like,
Listen,
"Clean." But you know what? Children appreciate it later because my
I
older son, I
do.
still, he said, "Mom, I thought you were so mean, so strict and not beating them or that type of thing, but only when I had to." But then he says, "I
hmm
thought you were so strict with us." He says, "But thank you because my
Yeah.
work ethic, the way he's raising his son, and he says, thank you for what you did." Now look, since I've been on chemo, I'm a New Yorker, I'm a black woman, ER nurse is my specialty, my silent investor. I'm tough. Now with this chemo, you don't have to say much, and I'm like crying. But it means so much because as an adult, he's now 40 years old, and I know I look so good. Thank you. He, yes, my oldest, to see him acknowledge, hear him acknowledge that and say it to me and recognize me, and I'm alive. As Dr. Nikki
Yeah,
says, you give your flowers while the person
while
is
you're
alive.
here.
Really, really, it means a lot. Uh, and I'm very proud of you for what you're doing. But I think you have a new, did you buy a house?
I did. I did. By myself. It is so funny because I have to practice that. The fact is the reality is we do everything together for real, me and Jaden. So I'll be like, we bought a house or we got a new car or we did this and stuff like that. And they be like, you're married? I'm like, I meant me, but Jaden, you know, I really do. You know, she's 13, but we've been together. We were together for 10 years before Journey, and I've just always, it's just been a partnership with us. You know, it's us against the world type of thing. Now it's all three of us against the world. And so,
Four.
yeah, so I,
You have your
four.
dogs. You have your dogs.
Well, if I count them, I'm gonna be sad because I feel like I got too many kids when I count all them. But still, you know, it's us against, you know, and so, but I bought a house by myself, and it's my house. I didn't get any assistance, you know, it's mine. And yes, I did it by myself, single mother of two beautiful girls, and at the time a dog, and you know, it's awesome. It really is. I'm really proud of myself. I really am. And we'll be a whole year coming up in May. Jaden had this. She said our anniversary coming up. Yes, a whole year in our home in May, and it's just a blessing. I give all the honor to God. I do. I tell you, I give Him all of it. It's surreal to me when I think about the things I've overcame because I don't give myself as much credit as I should a lot of times. But it's surreal to me still the things that I've been able to do.
And we're giving you credit. Hi, Antoinette. Thank you for popping in. She says, awesome story. I put on there, congratulations on your new house, Queen. But we have to give ourselves credit. It's okay. It's been ingrained in our culture, meaning Black people, and especially you've grown up in the church. You
Yeah.
put God first, absolutely, always, because I'm nothing without Him, right? But then you
hmm
put everybody else, and I did say
Yes.
every. We put everybody
Everybody.
else, and then we have an empty cup, but we're supposed to keep pouring. You can't pour into an empty
Right.
cup. When you're on the plane, you're supposed to put your own oxygen on first before you help the world, right? So it's okay. And that's something that I'm sharing and I'm teaching and really impressing upon our women that it's all right to be selfish. Selfish is not a bad word. We didn't say
Mm-hmm.
narcissistic, we said selfish. If you don't take care of yourself and make you priority number one, what are you teaching your daughter and your son?
Mm-hmm.
You're not giving them um, tools for survival. You're teaching them lack.
Mm-hmm.
You're teaching them cup half empty, not cup half
Right.
full.
That's where that
Because
depression
they'll
cycle
do
and
what
stuff
we
comes in.
do as opposed to they'll listen, but they're really watching what we do. So this also has an impact on who they date.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they're not used to taking care of themselves and they're just giving, and then they end up with somebody who's a taker, well, you never
Taker,
taught them to
taker,
take care of
yeah.
themselves, right? And
Mm-hmm.
even for
Right.
ourselves, who we end up dating. And I'm gonna be transparent because I've always, I love taking care of people, seeing them happy. But guess what? I was so busy running around trying to make everybody else happy. They were not happy because when they had an attitude and then they get upset, then I'm like, oh, why didn't you do anything? I'm walking on eggshells. Now, let me tell y'all, you do you because I'm doing me. I am priority number one. So if it doesn't work for me, then that's it. It's okay. Stay where you is. I'll stay over here on my side and I'm okay
Mm-hmm.
with it. And I don't have to apologize. So we have to not apologize for who we are, what we have, and what you have done is excellent. So what I would like you to do is again tell us how we can find you on all of your platforms.
Yes. So, like I was taught by the amazing Dr. Nikki, all of my platforms are Magic Sense by JoJo. JoJo is in honor of my amazing daughters, Jaden and Journey. So it's spelled JaijoU for their names. And so you can find me on all platforms Instagram, um, Facebook, and Twitter. Also, Clubhouse is under Magic Sense. My name's Jerica Watson on Facebook. So that's my personal page. But hey, if you want to come over there, you can too. But yeah, that's our platforms. Our website is also Jerica. I mean, it's also Magic Sense by JoJo, and you can also find us on Walmart, guys, under Magic Sense Love, because we know that you will absolutely, positively love Magic Sense.
Thank you so much for being my guest tonight. And thank you for being so transparent. I usually can pull stuff out of folks anyway, because you know what? It's a conversation. And
Hmm.
I always say our journey is ours. I can't walk in your shoes, you can't walk in mine. But our testimony is for other people. We're supposed to share how we got, that song, How We Got Over. But we need to
Yeah.
we need to share that so that we can encourage each other, so that we can really adjust each other's crowns because we don't know how people are feeling. Everybody, you can look at me and I'm like, I got my hair on and I'm all feeling good, and you don't realize that I'm tired. You don't realize that I am so nauseous. You don't know that I'm going through cancer, healing from cancer treatment and still have more treatment or whatever to go. You don't see that. You don't know. And looking at you, beautiful, you don't realize you've worked hard to get your house, but look what you had to go through. So I want us to always be mindful on kings and queens before we say things to people. Just think about where they might be or how you're saying something. And I'm guilty of that too. So we all are. But we just need to
Yes.
be a little bit more cognizant, a little bit more aware. Again, happy International Women's Month. Remember that TrevisMchelle Late Night Show, Late Night with TrevisMchelle. We're here every Wednesday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you would like to be a guest, you can definitely DM me over there on in Facebook, and let's see if we're a good fit so that you can come on and share your story as well, because I think it's really important. In addition to that, you can definitely book me for your event
Mm-hmm.
as a speaker and a facilitator. I have to start saying that. You see, when I'm talking about, oh, we have to say who we are, what we do, and then I shy away because I get so excited. And if you are looking in fact, not if, I know you're looking for a expert confidence coach because you need to go to the next level. I know you're right here and you're good. You might even be right here, but why not jump higher? Right? There's no glass ceiling. Stop saying there's a ceiling because that says there's a limitation, and that means you're putting a limitation on God as well as yourself. But if you're ready to get to that next level so that you can definitely walk with forgiveness, freedom, redemption, and kick butt unapologetically, please make sure that you contact me on either Facebook. You can DM me. I'm also on Instagram at TrevisMchelle, Clubhouse TrevisMchelle,
Mhm.
and I have Twitter, and I'm trying to like get into that. But also subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm excited. It needs work, but hey, guess what? I started it. Done is
Yes.
better than perfect. So before we go, can you just give us 30 seconds last words?
Yes. I guess I wanted to say hi to my ambassadors, of course, always. Absolutely love you guys. If y'all haven't, please meet us over in Montgomery. I cannot wait to be a part of the hurricane. And please check me out every Monday through Friday at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time, 8 a.m., 7 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time on Clubhouse and the Herpreneur Network and the Women in Business Check In so that you can show up for you and grow your business.
Queen, again, thank you. Thank you, everybody who has come and listened. Monique, because I know you're listening, thank you. She's my bestie. She'll cut you, so y'all be careful. I look forward to having you next week. Within the next 2 weeks, I'm excited because two of from my team, my medical team, two doctors are coming on, my radiation oncologist and my gynecology oncologist. Can you
Oh,
believe it? They're coming on and we're going to have a good girls' night. And they're so excited. They were like, yeah, we want to come on your show. And I'm like, what? Oh my goodness. So
wait,
I'm
me?
really excited about that. Exactly. As well, look out for, I will be announcing at some point my Boss Up Academy, Boss Up with Confidence Academy. You'll be able to get on a wait list. But you know what? Words are so important. And I want to leave you with this. Say what it is that you want. We talked about being very specific with God. When I first found out I was diagnosed with cervical cancer, I said, once I made a decision as to what facility, where my team was going to be, I said, I am going to be a cervical cancer representative for this hospital. And it's Columbia, a New York Presbyterian, Columbia, in Manhattan, one of the top hospitals in the country, as well as, of course, New York. And I said, I don't know how, but they talk about breast cancer and everything else, but I don't hear and see people that look like me with cervical cancer. Well, guess what? I am going to be interviewed because they want to know about my journey and my story. Now, see, I put that out when I didn't have a clue, nothing. All I did was put it in the air, in the atmosphere. And now I'm being asked to share my story and my journey. What? When you listen to God, you tell God, you ask God, but then you have to listen, and then you have to make sure you stay present. So thank you so much, guys. Hey, this is TrevisMchelle. I can't go without saying what I gotta say. TrevisMchelle, too much for some, get over it because I'm good with it. Not enough for others, get on board. Come on, you be all right. But guess what? I'm telling you, I'm always just right for me. Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank
Hold on.
you.
Stay with us, Jerica, as I end the
Okay.
broadcast. See you next week. Bye.